Right now, you probably think this outline already looks wrong. I used to stop drawing at this exact moment. Then I changed one thing. Just like Messi, progress isn't about being perfect. It's about keeping going and fixing mistakes along the way. Let me show you how. If you're waiting for me to use a bunch of different pencils, you're going to be disappointed. This entire portrait is drawn almost entirely with a single pencil. So let's start with the outline, and I'll show you why that's all you really need. The real reason you hesitate isn't because you can't shade. It's because you're afraid your outline won't look right. So you stop before you even give yourself a chance to improve. But here's what I want you to do. Forget about getting a perfect likeness today. Just finish the portrait. Then draw another one, and another one. Every portrait makes you just a little better. That's exactly how I improved, and that's exactly how you'll improve too. The first thing I want you to notice is this horizontal line and this vertical line. I'm not drawing them to make the portrait look better. I'm drawing them to tell my brain exactly where the portrait belongs on the page. Once I have that, everything becomes easier. Instead of drawing the whole portrait at once, I'm going to build it in two simple stages. First, the lower half, the neck and the jaw. Then I'll move to the upper half. Now it's time to place the main guidelines. The eyebrow line, the nose, and the chin are straightforward. But here's something I wish someone had told me years ago. Most tutorials show you where the mouth goes, but they never explain how to find it. Here's what works for me. If you divide the distance between the base of the nose and the chin in half, that midpoint is usually where the lower lip begins. It's not a perfect rule for every face, but it's an incredibly reliable starting point. Now you stop guessing and start placing the features with confidence. The last guide I add is a vertical line that follows the angle of the face. That gives every feature the same direction before I start adding the details. Now comes the hardest part of the outline, placing the features. This is usually where you lose confidence. You look at the face, you see one small mistake, and suddenly you don't want to keep drawing. Don't worry if that happens. Some mistakes can still be fixed during the shading stage, and I'll show you exactly how later. For now, keep thinking in straight lines instead of curves. And don't focus on the details yet. Focus on the size of each shape. Is the eyebrow too wide? Is the eye too tall? Get the overall shape right first. I actually made a small mistake here, and in a minute I'll show you how I caught it before it ruined the portrait. Now, finding the lower lip doesn't mean you found the whole mouth. You still need the upper lip. The easiest way to find it is by using the value above it. Whether it's a mustache, a shadow, or simply a darker tone, that value tells you exactly where the mouth belongs. Even with all these guidelines, I still made a mistake here, and that's completely normal. So how did I catch it? Two things. First, I stopped drawing for a few minutes. When I came back, the mistake was obvious. Your eyes notice mistakes much faster after a short break. Second, I compared everything. I noticed the mouth was too narrow because it ended almost exactly where the nose ended. In the reference, it was slightly wider. That also told me the nose was a little too wide, which meant the eye had to move slightly toward the ear. That's why I keep saying, don't guess, compare. Once the outline feels solid enough, that's when the shading starts doing the heavy lifting. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I almost always start with the nose. Now here's something that will instantly improve your shading. For the darkest values, keep the pencil sharp and use the tip. As the values get lighter, lay the pencil down and use the side instead. That gives you much more control over your transitions. Now that the nose is in place, I can use it to compare the eye. Before I shade it, I place a very light outline first. That keeps the eye from drifting out of proportion. From this point on, every feature is compared to the one before it. You're not shading randomly anymore. You're building the portrait with purpose. Now I move to the eyebrow. Not because I want to finish it, but because it gives me another reference point. Now I can compare it to the eye to the nose, and both of them to the side of the face. That's how you keep everything in proportion. You're not trying to perfect the outline anymore, you're refining it. The outline only gives you the first 40 or 50%. The rest comes from comparing every new feature to the one before it. That's why I started with the nose. It makes judging the distance to the side of the face much easier. Now the portrait starts building itself, one comparison at a time. See? A three-quarter portrait isn't actually harder. It just asks you to compare more carefully. That's exactly why I chose this angle, because once you understand it, front-facing portraits become much easier. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I finish the second eye and eyebrow first? I'll answer that in just a minute. For now, I'm going to do exactly what we did with the outline. I'm not starting with the mouth. I'm starting with the mustache and the beard. Why? Because they give me the information I need before I commit to the lips. Once those values are in place, the mouth almost positions itself. The same idea applies to the beard. Start with the darkest values first, then slowly build your way toward the lighter ones. Now here's the answer. The reason I didn't draw the second eye earlier is because I didn't have enough information yet. Once the mouth, beard, and jaw were in place, I finally had enough reference points to compare everything. Now I know where the eyebrow begins, how high it sits, and where it should end. Before I finish the eyebrow, I lightly block in the eye first, because the eye tells me exactly where the eyebrow belongs. Remember, don't guess, compare. Every feature gives you the information you need to place the next one. That's how you stop drawing randomly and start building the portrait. This is exactly how I keep the portrait accurate. Before I move to any major feature, I look for the values between it and the feature I just finished. Those values give me the information I need before I make the next decision. For example, before I draw the hairline, I shade the area between the eyebrow and the hair first. That tells me if the distance feels right, instead of guessing. The same thing happens with the ear. I don't start drawing it immediately. I finish the surrounding hair first, because now I have enough information to place it correctly. For the hair, I begin with the darkest masses. Then I pull out the lighter strands with an electric eraser. If you don't have one, simply leave those highlights untouched. You'll get almost the same result. Now the ear becomes much easier, because I already know exactly where it begins. The neck works the same way. Build the lighter values first, then slowly layer the darker ones on top. And here's another mistake I caught. The neck was slightly too wide. I only noticed it after comparing it to the face. That's why I keep telling you, don't guess, compare. Comparison is more important than shading itself, because even perfect shading can't fix the wrong proportions. If you'd like, I can make an entire video about comparison alone, without using an outline at all. Just let me know in the comments. The shirt doesn't need much attention. Simple shapes are enough. Finally, I finished the pupils. I matched the direction of the catch lights. Repeat the same process on the other eye, and the portrait is complete. If you made it this far, you're serious about improving. So subscribe, because we're building these skills one portrait at a time. If you found value in this video, a like really helps the channel grow. And before you leave, the next video is the perfect follow-up to this one. It'll completely change the way you look at your own drawings. Go watch it. I'll meet you there.